Good afternoon. Peter Klein, Chief Investment Officer, co-founder, ALINE Wealth, with you this afternoon. I just want to give you a briefing on how we do what we do at ALINE Wealth for our clients, for you folks out there. Calling this What is Wealth Management? So I'm going to walk through a couple of slides to give you a sense on how we see the profession that we've chosen, the wealth management profession. So stay tuned and let's share the screen, as they say, and here we go. Okay, as you could see in a moment, I have boiled down this concept of wealth management into an equation. This is going back to my sort of geeky days in high school, I guess, where everything was an equation. And here you see it in front of you. Wealth management equals IC, investment consulting, we'll get to that in a second, plus advanced planning, plus relationship management. We're going to break this down for you. Let me start with investment consulting. Folks, anyone in the wealth management industry must be steeped in the knowledge of global markets, of economics, of understanding the interlinkage of various different financial products and financial assets. They have to understand how to read a balance sheet, an income statement, how to analyze a company, how to understand what an investment is all about, read through the prospectuses as well as the 10Ks and 10Qs of companies. Bottom line is you have to approach this as a science as well as an art. In this case, the investment consulting piece is very much a science, the science of finance. And we at ALINE Wealth have committed our entire lives to understanding this science and put a lot of effort and time and years studying to understand what makes an investment an investment, what is the importance of the economic conditions around the world, the interlinkage of various nations. This whole idea of tariffs has certainly been part of that. So it's important for your wealth manager to understand this. We at ALINE Wealth believe those in the industry who sort of poo-poo this part of wealth management, who do not dedicate their lives to the science of finance and understanding it and teaching it, distilling it down to the nuggets of knowledge to be able to pass that along to our clients, who they then become a better consumer, of a more educated consumer of wealth management and financial services. That's our goal here. But we need to make sure that that is one piece, not the only piece, as you'll see, but one very important part of the wealth management process and the definition itself. You need to understand what investment consulting and the science of finance. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, as you'll see, is advanced planning. Wealth management needs to understand how to plan for their clients, how to increase cash flows and tax efficiency, and also planning not only for retirement, for education for children, potentially philanthropic legacies down the road. All of this comes into play when we're talking about the planning aspects of wealth management. It's an important part, critically important part, and what we spend a lot of time doing here at ALINE Wealth. We have CFPs as part of our firm, and they are always involved in the interlinking of various different clients' portfolios, not just the portfolios that we are managing for them, but interestingly and importantly, we serve as quarterback in this advanced planning process for our clients' other advisors, be it accountants, accounting advisors, legal advisors, even other financial advisors. And we want to make sure we're comprehensive in our approach for our clients' planning process, and to understand that we want to review their estate plan, right? Critically important. We want to make sure the titling of their assets are done properly. The beneficiary statements are proper and correct and reviewed. These are all important aspects, and we are on understanding these different issues and understanding these different interlinkages. Also, the importance of wealth protection, of reviewing our clients' insurance policies, making sure that they're protected and their families are protected for going forward. All of this comes under the AP, or advanced planning, part of the wealth management equation. Finally, it's relationship management. This is an important part that many folks in the industry don't appreciate fully. It's important for us to be proactively empathetic to our clients, always thinking about them, caring, always thinking of what could go wrong and how do we fix it and how do we make sure that they're insulated to various different issues and risks. So this is an important part as well. And again, working with the client's advisors and the team to make sure it's a comprehensive approach to wealth management. We like to, again, use the term proactive empathy. It's a process, as we've said. It starts with the optimal portfolio. That's the goal. And to get to that goal, we start with an analysis of the client, who you are, what's your sort of financial DNA, what are your concerns, your aspirations, your worries, and then also your risk tolerance, right? Your objectives and risk tolerance, potentially your liquidity needs, any tax issues that might be coming into play, legal issues. All of this comes into play as we developed an investment policy statement for our clients, a bullet pointed document that shows them that we've listened and we understand who they are and what they're seeking and what they're looking to avoid. And so that leads us from after we do that analysis and do a fair amount of understanding who they are, that leads to putting the portfolio together. And that portfolio starts with asset allocation. There's been seminal studies after studies in the financial journals that show that the asset allocation mix is one of the more important parts of managing the risk of a portfolio. How much do you have in cash or fixed income or equities or alternatives? That plays into the part of your portfolio. And there's two flavors of asset allocation shown here as both strategic and then tactical. Strategic is married to the investment policy statement. In other words, it's married to your objectives as well as respecting your constraints, right? Risk tolerance, liquidity, taxes, etc. The tactical asset allocation model, same thing as strategic, with an overlay on what's now occurring in the markets. So while you may strategically have an X% to equities, given your risk tolerance and your objectives, at this current juncture, reviewing the conditions of the markets, we might say to you, you might need less or more of that because of what's going on in the market. So it's the dynamic, it's reviewing, it's understanding what's going on. It's not, repeat, it is not robotic. We look at the macroeconomic assessment. We put together a portfolio. Oftentimes that can be thematic with various different parts of that, like active and satellite, where you have the combination of both actively managed and passively managed portfolios. And again, we have proprietary models here at ALINE that we utilize for our clients. It is also the implementation of that portfolio and doing it over time to take advantage of the volatility of the markets for our clients' benefit. And then, of course, the reporting of the portfolio's performance and communicating where we stand with our clients and their portfolios and the road we're on to get them to the optimal portfolio that they need to make their financial plans come to fruition. So that's the wheel, we call it. And it's a dynamic process that is at the crux of the work that we do here at ALINE Wealth. Communications, again, I want to make sure I hit on this hard because it's critically important. We believe in proactive empathy. We believe in caring for our clients without them having to ask. We're always going to be ahead of the curve when it comes to understanding our client and what's going on in their lives, asking the questions and responding timely with solutions. Additionally, ALINE Wealth's communication strategy includes scheduled meetings and review meetings for the client, a monthly newsletter from our team, occasional articles or posts or videos, and of course, statements that are delivered to your ALINE Wealth portal. One of the things that we believe is an important part of this is the performance reporting tool called Black Diamond, which we utilize at ALINE Wealth to provide our clients with up-to-date information about their portfolio, about their allocation, about their performance, and how it is doing relative to their plan, and do we need to make some alterations and changes. So it's important to understand what's going on. Folks, that is wealth management from our lens. Thank you for your attention. Look forward to discussing this with you one-on-one or at your convenience. Have a wonderful day.